Sometimes in life, nothing can prepare you for the challenges you'll face, the obstacles you'll have to overcome, and the problems you'll have to solve. As you all know, like most teenagers, they don't like getting out of bed in the mornings, but when the call came and my mum come and told me, I fell back to sleep because I didn't believe, I'd never thought the day would ever come that I got that call. I was diagnosed as a baby with biliary atresia and portal hypertension, and I had a Kasai operation when I was 6 weeks old. But ever since that day, I've been in and out of hospitals my whole life. It's like my second home. So when I was 5, I went jaundice, and it was the first time I really noticed that I was different from other children, but that I was too young and naive to realise the seriousness of the situation, and I was kind of unknown to my parents' worry. So I was sent to King's for a transplant assessment. I didn't really mind because I was bought my first Nintendo, so that, to me, that was great. But it turned out just to be a bad liver infection. So the same happened again when I was 10, but this time I was bullied, I was teased and called names because of the colour of my skin, but again I wasn't listed for a transplant. That was when things really started to get worse. My liver function was deteriorating quite quickly. I just kind of stopped doing everything. I gave everything up. I wasn't going out. I was kind of watching everyone else enjoy their life while mine was on hold. And that was really hard because I obviously wanted to do everything else that all other teenagers were doing, but at that point I just couldn't. I was waiting for the call. I was put on the transplant list in August of 2016, and that just gave me a bit of hope that one day the nightmare would be over. Over the next few months, the phone remained silent, but I continued to deteriorate, and every day I just felt myself getting worse, and there were some points where I just wanted to give up, and the toxins that my liver wasn't removing was now affecting my brain function, and it made school really, really difficult. I couldn't concentrate, I could hardly do any work, and sometimes I just thought, what if I didn't have this condition, or what if I was someone else? But to be honest, I'm proud to be different from everyone else, and it's a part of me, and I don't really know what I'd do without it. I'd feel really quite lost. In July 2017, I was moved to the priority list because I had episodes of internal bleeding, and that was the point where I really started to panic, and I thought, am I actually going to get the transplant that's going to save my life? I finally got the call for my transplant, and I'll never forget that feeling of relief. I knew I was getting a second chance. Well, the initial recovery was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It was so hard, but I tried to stay strong, and I tried to try my hardest every day because I just wanted to make my family proud, and I kind of wanted to do it for myself, to show myself that I could do it and I could overcome this. Through all that, I've obviously been left with scars, but to me my scars mean that I was stronger than what was trying to beat me all the time. When I went back to school after my transplant, everyone knew me as the girl that had the liver transplant, and that's okay, but I want to be known as me. It was just a part of my life, it doesn't define who I am. Despite all the things I went through, my transplant, my diagnosis, basically my whole life, I still did the things I wanted to do. I got to grade 4 piano, I got to level 3 ice skating, I grew to love baking and swimming, and even though I wasn't allowed to play sports, that didn't bother me because I had all these wonderful things in my life that I was still able to do, and I was grateful for that. I'd like to say thank you to all my family and all my friends for being by my side throughout my whole life. I'd like to thank my school who have supported me, and especially my guidance teacher, Mr. Craven, and all the PSAs who've got me to where I am now. I'd like to say thank you to Ben Phillips, who gave me the opportunity of a lifetime and helped me get to 35,000 Instagram followers, so it enabled me to raise more awareness of organ donation and biliary atresia. And then finally, I'd like to say the biggest thank you to my mum and my dad. My mum because she's been there with me every step of the way, she's never given up on me, and my dad just for always being there at the end of the phone when I needed him.